All right, so I'm gonna do a little something a little different for the channel today, for Thunderbolt Garage. I'm going to take a tour of our new barn. So my new garage, I guess. So those guys have been watching me for a while. I just work out of my 3-car garage in my house. I need some storage space to put my stuff, so I went and bought myself a rickety old barn that's gonna fall over any minute, and figured that'd be good. But I'm gonna do just a quick tour of what I got to deal with here. It is sitting on 20 acres of beautiful, pristine, rolling Michigan hills. So it's a beautiful piece of property. I'll expand on someday and do something with in the thriving metropolis of Hickory Corners, Michigan. It's a pretty nice piece of property. But the barn, like I said, I like to save the barn. It's in pretty rough shape, but I really would like to save it. So maybe I'll do some videos on how I'm trying to save this barn from falling down. It looks fairly square, but looking inside, it's got some issues. So she's a beautiful old barn. We figure it's 1880s, 1890s ish, somewhere in there. That's where it showed up on the maps of the county. Size of it, it's about, I think it's like a 48 by 36 barn. So it's not great big barn. This area out here, if you look really close, you can see the old roof line of another building. And out underneath all this grass, when it was wintertime, I could see there's some pieces of foundation. So the barn used to actually extend, from that roof line that you see right there along the wood. It used to extend way out here, and there's some pieces of foundation out here in this grass. But I'm not worried about that as much as I am about this guy. So she's a beautiful barn. The last owners didn't really do anything with it other than just kind of put some new doors on it so they could store some stuff in it. They're trying to do some gardens out back. I won't bother you with the property details, but I'll let you at least in on the barn and what I'm going to try to do with it. So if you look at the front of it, you'll see that someone tried to do some repairs around here. That's the old fieldstone foundations underneath this concrete right here. So this kind of looks like it's kind of original-ish. Obviously the doors are brand new, but on this side, they took out the walls and put in these concrete or cement brick foundation on this side. A really crappy poured pad here. This is I think they call it an English style, so it's a 3-stall barn. This side here is one of the stalls. It's pretty crazy because all this is poop. All right, so this is all manure piled high on the ground here. Oh, some meadowlarks are in here checking their nest. I think I might have moved it on them today. And they're in here flying around. This little mud nest right here, I moved it not realizing there's still eggs in it, so they're probably in here looking for it. But anyways, so pretty rough. This is all, like I said, manure stacked nice and high, about 3 feet high in some places. Yeah, so she's rough. These beautiful doors were in here when I bought the place. Look at those things. 2 of them still have all the glass and still in them. 2 of them have the glass broken out, but you can see they try to do some repairs. They try to put like a cement foundation here, but they really didn't do a very good job of shoring it up. You can see that beam sliding right off. Like I said, I want to have my work cut out for me. It's got some issues. All those poor birds. I moved their nest on them. I feel bad now. It's right here. It's got eggs in it still. Let's see. So again, this is all cow manure just stacked high in here. It's hard to even figure out why or how that got that way, but it is that way. So here's some really crappy foundation work. I mean, the mortar's falling all out. They didn't do a very good job. They probably didn't support this up very well. You can see this has all been open to the weather for who knows how long, so this wood has rotted right away. Now, this isn't any structural thing here, but that big beam in the corner is. And actually that doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's been fairly good shape. But look at this. I mean, you can see daylight through this board right here, and of course all these beams for this hayloft area. These are all sliding out of their notches. So yeah, it's got some issues. I don't think it's going to go anywhere in the short term. It's been here for who knows how long in this condition. And we get a good shot of this side of the barn here first. So yeah, this is there's a that right there is a bucket of paint. So it looks like someone went back and at least painted like the last bottom half of it. And this siding right here is all different than this siding right here. And I'm pretty sure this is all the original siding. So someone went through and like chopped it up, probably when they replaced this foundation this side with the cement blocks. And then they didn't even do all of it. Like you still see fieldstone in here with the cement bricks. So they kind of did it and they kind of didn't. Like I said, this wall's all here. It's not going to go anywhere per se. But yeah, she's rough. All right, go around the back side of the barn. See, even this, you got this. This is a pretty big deal. This post right here on this foundation, and that post is pretty rotted, and where it's sitting on that is rotted. So this probably needs to, somehow I'm gonna have to figure out what I got to do with all this. Now there are companies in Michigan that do this stuff for you. The last people who own the barn and sold it to me said they got a quote of about $35,000. That's crazy. Obviously, I could build a new building for that. Now I wouldn't have the cool aesthetics as this does, but it's really not feasible to do that. So I'm going to try to do some of that stuff on my own. I have some experience with some construction and doing these sorts of things, so we'll see how bad I screw it up. I think it's kind of cool. So this, you see the boards over here. They got gaps in them, but most of the barn still has those little stopgap boards in place where they are. So basically, it makes it wind or weatherproof. But then over here, they're kind of gone. So they just fell off or what. We are facing almost. This wall is facing almost due west. And then yeah, but due west. So this probably gets setting sun, and then yeah, it's hard to say honestly. Okay, so I'm going to keep going around the outside. I already got a lot of these grapevines. You almost couldn't even see this wall on this side. You can kind of see where I've chopped all this down. I still need to kind of clean it out of here, but you could barely even walk in this door earlier today. So I meant to get some video before I started on it, but no, I'm not. I mean, this is what it looked like before. The whole barn before we bought it is just like this, just vines and things growing. Like you can't even walk alongside the barn right there because it's so overgrown. I need to get to this. Got into this area over here, and you guys can obviously see my old cars laying around. I did a video on this, the 46 Hudson. This is the parts car 46 Hudson. It's got a 308 in it. I really didn't bother doing a video because it's pretty beat up and missing half the pieces. This is the hood for it, at least. No front fenders. I'll go look at it right now real quick, since this is a car video or channel anyways. This is just a two-door coupe, club coupe. It's got a little fancier steering wheel in there. It does have a radio. The interior in this has already been redone. And you can't see it, but someone's already painted the dash black, and they put like black seats in it and whatever. So, but this is probably just gonna be a parts car, honestly. It's got a 308 put in it already. That's really why I bought it, because now I got another 308 laying around in case I want to do something with that. And it looks like it's a 54 because it's an orange block 308. So we'll see what I do with that. Well, since I'm here, I might as well go inside the barn and show you what's going on in here. So this is the one hay loft over top of the cow poop. You can see the notches in the boards here. It looks like there used to be a loft go all the way across here, and just some of the boards are gone now. And then they picked back up again, and then the end of the loft here. So it's probably a whole loft at one point. Then this loft down here is quite a bit lower. It's only about 7 feet tall, but you can see how you can see the sun shining through the boards. How bad that is over there. How beat up these boards are, weathered. But the frame of it looked pretty good. There's not any big serious holes in the roof. I think the roof is probably original tin, and it's held up really, really well. Like there are no real water issues that are in here at all. I couldn't find a spot. I mean, this looks like water damage up in here, but I really don't think it is. I couldn't find anywhere in here it looks like water's been leaking into the roof. I mean, these big giant holes in the walls are the big problem, to be honest with you, but the roof looks pretty good. Someone just built this little containment area here for an animal, probably with a little loft. Looks like they made it out of, it was like a pallet built. Those boards are mine. I put those up there because I'm going to use those to help shore up the building. But again, you see the notches in this old board. Got the what they call this? They got the pins that hold shoot. Forget the name of the joints in these things. Anyways, I'll figure it out. When you guys comment on that later. But yeah, it looks pretty good in here. It's pretty solid, pretty straight. Now we did discover today a serious problem. There's a ladder going up to that loft, and this is kind of cool too. It's got the old hay rake. I think it's called the hay rake still up there. The pulley system is still, the rails up there. The pulley system's still there. It's got some old wooden pulleys still hanging from the ceiling. I'm just noticing actually that looks like a pretty bad spot right yeah, right there. Makes a little bit of bad spot in the boards, but yeah, pretty cool in here. I think it's pretty neat looking. But I'd like to save it. You know, I like to save on it. But the problem is, this is crazy. This whole side, obviously there was probably something here at some point, but now there's no foundation here. This is the old fieldstone where someone tried to patch it, and I wonder, they almost wonder if they meant to, like, you know, if they took this out with the intentions of patching it and just never got around to it. But you look at this, there is nothing under this entire support beam for this whole wall except for that big rock and that teetering board right there. So basically, if I knocked that board out from underneath that beam right there, this side of the building would be floating. So that's not good. But again, I think it's pretty solid still. I don't see any major cracks in the main support beams. I mean, really, all these are there for nailers and to kind of keep things straight. But these are the ones we have to worry about. And most of these wooden pins, as you can see in this one, they're still there. They haven't been sheared off. Now that one looks like it's shifted, you know, a little bit right there at the top. But I mean, in all these cross beam supports, they are all still solid. They're all still attached. There's only one that isn't attached anymore. And it's these two right here were loose and they just fell off when I touched them. So, yeah, if anybody of you guys have experience in dealing with these old barns and fixing them up and repairing them, please comment and please let me know, because I have my work cut out for me. But it's a super cool old building. It looks even better with my Hudsons sitting in here, where they're just gonna be stored for now. I mean, this is all just hay. Look at this. My son was just digging out this hay right here. And this hay is like, I don't know, 3 feet thick, just laying here on the floor. There's no floor on this side of the building at all. So I really think that it might have been taken out with the intentions of fixing this foundation over here, and it never got done. Because I don't know why there would be no foundation there to begin with. Now this is the side of the barn that had what looked like there was an addition going into the other area, but I think, like, that's cut right there. I think maybe there was just a door before. Like, it wasn't actually like, I don't think this whole thing was open to that side. I think there was just maybe there was a door right there where it's cut, and now it's not. But anyway, it's hard to tell. This thing's been here for, what, 130 years. Who knows? The last owners didn't use it other than just for storage. The people who had it before that still live across the street, and they use it for horse and cow storage, just for their kids that did 4-H, so it wasn't really being used as an active farm then. And before that, it was probably the 60s, and no one seems to know what happened before the 60s. So it hasn't been used for, I mean, hay storage maybe for the animals, but this is just ridiculous. And look how high this is. My son just made a dent in that. Just look at the foundation, and now it's 5 feet high. So yeah, free hay for anybody who wants it. But anyways, you know what? Let me go. I missed. I got the whole building, I think, actually. So there you go. They got the one stall over there with the poop in it. Got the middle stall with the Hudsons in it, and the third stall with the hay. And I'll try to do some videos when I start working on this bad boy to see how it goes. And yeah, feel free to comment if you guys have any ideas or any guidance or any experience with this stuff, because I'm watching YouTube channels like a madman trying to see what other people do, and it's a pretty involved process. And I got my work cut out for me. All right, thanks for watching.